Good morning, students. In Introduction to Analytical Chemistry, today we are going to study about the limiting reagent. A chemical reaction involves the reaction between two or more reactants to give the new substances. These new substances are called product. Whenever a chemist performs any chemical reaction, then the amounts of the reactants which are taken are not in proportions as indicated by the stoichiometric equation, as indicated by the balanced chemical equation. The amount of the reactants taken are not in proportions indicated by the balanced chemical equation. It is not necessary that the amounts of the reactants which are taken in the chemical reaction are exactly equal to the amounts which are shown by the balanced chemical equation. Here, one of the reactant which is easily available and quite cheaper, that reactant is taken in large amount. One of the reactant is taken in large quantity or large amount, while the other reactant which is highly expensive, which is very costly, that reactant is taken in a small quantity. Small quantity of that reactant is taken. The purpose of this is the reactant which is expensive or costly, that reactant must be completely consumed in the reaction, or it should be completely converted into the product. Suppose this is a expensive and it is a cheaper. Then this reactant B is taken in large quantity and it is taken in small quantity. So what is the purpose? Here the reactant which is expensive, it should get completely converted into the product. For that purpose it is taken in small quantity and the other reactant is taken in large quantity. Here this reactant which is taken in small quantity get completely consumed in the reaction, or it is completely converted into the products. While the other reactant which is taken in large quantity, it is not completely converted into the product. Only the required amount of that reactant is converted into the product, while the remaining quantity of that reactant remains as it is. So here the reactant which is taken in smaller quantity, or the reactant which is completely consumed in the chemical reaction, or which is completely converted into the product, limits the further progress of the reaction. The reaction proceeds or the reaction continues until that reactant is available in the reaction mixture. But once that reactant gets completely consumed, the reaction cannot occur, the reaction stops. So that reactant which prevents the further progress of the reaction, which limits the further progress of the reaction, is known as the limiting reagent. So here remember, that reactant which is taken in the smaller quantity is known as the limiting reagent, and this limiting reagent is always completely converted into the product, while the other reactant which is taken in the large quantity is not completely converted into the product. Only the desired amount or the required amount of that reactant converted into the product, while the remaining amount of that reactant remains behind. So limiting reagent is that reactant which is taken in the smaller quantity because it is expensive and it gets completely or 100% converted into the product. Example: in the conversion of nitric oxide, NO gas, into nitrogen dioxide gas. Nitrogen dioxide. Suppose here we have taken initially 8 moles of nitric oxide and 7 moles of oxygen gas. Then out of these two reactants, which reactant will be the limiting reagent and which reactant will be the excess reagent? That we have to decide here. So see here, from this balanced chemical equation, from balanced chemical equation, we can see here that two moles of NO produce 2 moles of NO2, because the stoichiometric coefficient of NO is 2 and NO2 is also 2. So 2 moles of NO produces 2 moles of NO2. Therefore, 8 moles of NO will produce 8 moles into 2 moles upon 2 moles equal to 8 moles of NO2. So 8 moles of NO will produce 8 moles of NO2. Now, again from the balanced chemical equation, see that 1 mole of CO2, 1 mole of O2 gas produces 2 moles of NO2. 1 mole of O2 gas produces 2 moles of NO2. Therefore, 7 moles of O2 gas will produce 7 moles into 2 moles upon 1 mole equal to 14 moles of NO2. So here initially we have taken 8 moles of NO and 7 moles of O2. Now here 2 moles of NO produces 2 moles of NO2. Therefore 8 moles of NO will produce 8 moles of NO2. Similarly 1 mole of O2 produces 2 moles of NO2. Therefore 7 moles of O2 will produce 14 moles of NO2. Now how to decide the limiting reagent? Out of these two reactants, the reactant which produces lesser number of moles of NO2, lesser number of moles of product, will be the limiting reagent. Now here compare. 8 moles of NO produce just 8 moles of NO2, while the 7 moles of oxygen produce 14 moles of NO2. Means out of these two reactants, NO is the reactant which produces lesser number of moles of NO2. 8 moles of NO produces just 8 moles of NO2, while here 7 moles of O2 produces 14 moles of NO2. Means out of these two reactants, NO and O2, NO is the reactant which produces lesser number of moles of product, and therefore NO will be the limiting reagent while O2 will be the excess reagent. NO will be the limiting reagent. Means how to identify the limiting reagent? The limiting reagent is that reactant which will produce the lesser number of moles or lesser quantity of the product. That is known as the limiting reagent. And the other reactant which produces the more number of moles of the products or more quantity of the product, that is known as the excess reagent. In this way, in any given example, we can identify the limiting reagent and the excess reagent. We can solve one example and identify which will be the limiting reagent and which will be the excess reagent. See here. In the reaction, 2NH3 plus CO2 to give NH2 twice CO plus H2O. The name of the product is urea and water. This is ammonia and this is carbon dioxide. So in this reaction, the mass of urea ammonia is given. The mass of urea mass of ammonia is 637.2 gram and mass of carbon dioxide taken is 1142 grams. So from the mass of ammonia and carbon dioxide taken here, we have to decide out of these two reactants which is the limiting reagent. We have to identify the limiting reagent. Second thing, calculate the mass of urea produced. How much mass of urea will be produced there, that we have to calculate. And C, calculate the mass of CO2 carbon dioxide left behind अनरिएक्टेड CO2 कितना बचेगा वो निकालना है यहाँ पे. तो इस तरह से तीन प्रॉब्लम्स यहाँ पे सॉल्व करने हैं. सॉल्यूशन हियर mass of ammonia and mass of carbon dioxide is given, but the molar mass of ammonia NH3 17.03 gram per mole, while molar mass of CO2 equal to 44 gram per mole. Molar masses of both the reactants are known. Therefore, first of all, calculate the number of moles. Number of moles of NH3. Number of moles of NH3 will be mass 637.2 gram upon molar mass 17.03 gram per mole. It will give the number of moles of ammonia taken in the reaction. Number of moles of ammonia taken are 37.416 moles. This much number of moles of ammonia are taken. Similarly, number of moles of CO2 taken. Mass of CO2 is 1142 gram upon molar mass of CO2 is 44 gram per mole. It will give the number of moles 25.954 moles. These are the number of moles of carbon dioxide taken. So here masses, both of these masses are converted to the respective number of moles. These are the number of moles of ammonia, number of moles of carbon dioxide. Now here from the balanced chemical equation, you can see from balanced equation, 2 moles of ammonia produces 1 mole of urea. 2 moles of NH3 gives 1 mole of urea. Here you can see the coefficient. Coefficient of NH3 is 2, coefficient of urea is 1. So 2 moles of ammonia gives 1 mole of urea. Therefore here 37.416 moles of NH3 which are taken in the reaction will give equal to 37.416 into 1 upon 2 equal to here 18.708 moles of urea. So 37.416 moles of ammonia which are taken in the reaction will give 18.708 moles of urea. Further, again from the balanced chemical equation you can see that 1 mole of CO2 is here gives 1 mole of urea. You can see coefficient of CO2 is 1, coefficient of urea is also 1. Therefore here 25.954 moles of CO2 will give 25.954 moles of urea. It is very easy. See here, 37.416 moles of ammonia gives 18.708 moles of urea. and 25.95 moles of CO2 will give 25.954 moles of urea. So here out of these two reactants, you can see which reactant gives the lesser number of moles of urea. Compare. Out of these two reactants, which reactant gives the less number of moles of urea? Ammonia gives the less number of moles of urea. Ammonia. You can see here 25.954 moles of carbon dioxide gives 25.955 moles of urea. Means here the carbon dioxide gives the more number of moles of urea than ammonia, and therefore ammonia, which gives the lesser number of moles of urea, will be the limiting reagent. So here part A is solved. Here we get the answer of part A. Limiting reagent is here ammonia. Now second part. In second part, we have to find out the mass of urea produced. Mass of urea produced. Now B. Now number of moles of urea produced will be equal to 18.708 moles. 18.708 moles of urea will be produced there, because these are the number of moles of urea which are produced from ammonia. Ammonia is the limiting reagent. Always decide the number of moles of product from the limiting reagent. You cannot decide the number of moles of product from the excess reagent. You can decide the number of moles of the product from the limiting reagent. Now here ammonia is the limiting reagent, and therefore number of moles of urea produced will be equal to the number of moles of urea produced from the limiting reagent, which is nothing but 18.708 moles. Therefore, mass of urea produced, now moles of urea produced are converted into mass, 18.708 moles multiplied by its molar mass. Now molar mass of urea is 18.708 moles into 60.03 gram per mole. Mole and per mole get cancelled. When we multiply 18.708 by 60.03, then we get the mass of urea produced. The mass of urea produced will be equal to 1124 grams. This is the mass of urea produced, 1124 grams. Now the answer of C. Calculate the mass of CO2 left behind, unreacted CO2. Now here, number of moles of CO2 consumed. Number of moles of CO2 consumed in the reaction will be equal to number of moles of urea produced. Number of moles of urea produced. But what are the number of moles of urea produced? 18.708 moles. Means number of moles of carbon dioxide consumed will be 18.708 moles. And what are the initial number of moles of carbon dioxide? 1142.44. Number of moles of carbon dioxide taken are 25.954. Therefore, number of moles of CO2 left unreacted. Number of moles of CO2 left unreacted equal to initial number of moles of CO2 25.954 minus number of moles of CO2 consumed, that is 18.708, equal to 7.246 moles. These are the number of moles of CO2 left unreacted. These are the number of moles of CO2 left unreacted, that is not consumed. Therefore, number of moles are now converted into mass. Mass of CO2 left behind. Mass of CO2 left behind equal to number of moles multiplied by molar mass. into molar mass of CO2 is 44 gram per mole. It will give the mass of CO2 remain behind. The mass of CO2 remain behind will be 318.824 gram. This is the amount of CO2 that will remain unreacted in this reaction. So in this way we can solve the problem. The problem is very simple. Here mass of ammonia and mass of CO2 was given. First of all, we have converted both of these masses into the respective number of moles. Then from the balanced chemical equation we have seen that 2 moles of ammonia produces 1 mole of urea. Therefore, here 37.416 moles of ammonia will give 18.708 moles of urea, while 1 mole of CO2 produces 1 mole of urea. Therefore, 25.954 moles of CO2 will give 25.954 moles of urea. Means out of the two reactants, ammonia is the reactant which gives lesser number of moles of urea. Therefore, ammonia will be the limiting reagent. Then number of moles of urea produced equal to 18.708 moles. That is number of moles of urea produced from the limiting reagent. Therefore, mass of urea produced equal to number of moles into molar mass of urea, 1124 gram. Then number of moles of CO2 consumed equal to number of moles of urea produced, because the stoichiometric coefficients are equal here. So these are the number of moles of CO2 consumed, 18.708 moles. But the initial number of moles of CO2 are 25.954 moles minus 18.708 moles equal to 7.246 moles. Therefore, the mass of CO2 left behind will be equal to 7.246 moles into 44 gram per mole equal to 318.824 grams. In this way, here we have solved this problem. Thank you.